Sorry.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
And we are now live for another episode of the Wicked Horror Show. With us today, we have Kevin.
What's going on, everybody?
Tony.
What is going on, people?
And Tony, would you like to introduce our guests?
I will do so. We have Jonathan Wright, the director of The Awakening of the Zodiac. How are you?
I don't know if you can hear us again.
So we might have to do the exact same thing. Come out and pop in.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, while we wait for him to hop in, Tony, you brought a movie to us.
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, no worries.
Could you hear us now? Yeah, might want to.
Should I rejoin?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, while we wait for that, Tony, would you like to talk about the movie?
Sure. It's another, well, I guess a future take on the Zodiac. I'm sure some of you have seen the movie The Zodiac. The Zodiac.
Hey, I'm here. Sorry.
You can hear us?
I'm gonna do without the headphones. You'll have
That's
to.
fine. Yeah, that's
No, that's fine. Yeah.
So, everyone watching, the director of The Awakening of the Zodiac.
It's Awakening,
Right?
Awakening the Zodiac. No,
Awakening does Zodiac. I apologize. Jonathan Wright.
Hey guys, how are you?
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, so first off, thanks for coming. Like Tony brought you up, and I know Tony. How were you introduced to Jonathan originally?
Through Instagram, actually. He did a previous movie, and I put up a picture. Usually, that's what I do. I'll get anything added to my collection, which I always mention. I'll take a picture of it and then post. I'll tag everybody who's part of it. And Jonathan added me on Instagram, and he mentioned the movie, and he's like, "Would you want to check it out?" And I checked it out and gave it a review, and I thought it would be perfect for this setting. So
nice. And the first movie that you saw of his, you got through Horror Pack, you were saying before, right?
correct, yes.
What was that movie?
Psychotica.
Psychotica, which I haven't seen. I do need to see it though.
But after that, he's like, I think Kevin would, definitely. Plus, I think a lot of the fans that we have would definitely appreciate it as well. So as much as
you're saying I wouldn't appreciate it,
you possibly.
He was the least horror guy out of everybody, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, I definitely want to check out Psychotica. But yeah, this one, Awakening the Zodiac, it's a really cool like twist on the Zodiac. So like Tony was saying, we all know the story of the Zodiac killer, and this is a kind of not your take, but like a continuation of the story. Do you want to maybe talk about it a little bit, Jonathan? Like, because you wrote it as well, right?
I did with my wife. There was got the idea. The producer said I read this script about a guy that finds some film reels of some kills, and I was like, well, maybe we can turn this into the Zodiac. So we looked at a bunch of we didn't use that particular script, but we did use the log line from that original script because it's a great idea. Of a guy finds film strips of the Zodiac killer. So I started fresh and we just constructed this world of someone who really needed the money.
Yeah.
Someone who lived in the trailer park and just that I joke around, but it's true. It's Homer Simpson, the Shane West character is really a Homer Simpson, that everything's going to be better, everything's going to work, and he blows he blows his last rent money on a storage locker, and turns out it was nothing but garbage. And they find these reels and think, well, hey, maybe someone's wedding reels, so like old 8mm film reels. So they check it out and find it was a theory that the Zodiac killer actually filmed his kills.
Oh, really?
All the surviving people or surviving victims mentioned that he had this extremely bright light, more than a flashlight, and which would be apropos for an 8mm film camera. As well, someone had seen him setting up something. The people that were killed in the park, and the man survived. I can't remember what his name is, but he said that he thought it was. Oh my God! Sorry, my wife is texting me here. He thought he saw him setting up a tripod. So we went with that idea of he filmed his kills, and just tucked away these mementos, because all serial killers keep mementos of some sort from each kill, and a lot of them do. Like the green, what was that? The truck driver killer. He had like countless amounts of Polaroid pictures of all of his victims. So anyway, then they think and the true story is there is a $100,000 reward to this day to capture the Zodiac killer, or any kind of evidence leading to the capture of the Zodiac killer.
So they were trying to cash in on that and hoping beyond hope, and then things happen. I do have to say, like, I watched the movie last night, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. There are a lot of really good decisions. Like I thought the cast was great. I really enjoyed the story, and I'm a fan. It was really good, and it's not like you were pointing out before that it's not really a horror movie. It's more like a thriller, suspense, but that scares me more than most horror movies. So to think of like how would you get out of the situation and everything. It was I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it looked awesome too. I even messaged the guys. I'm like, this is a pro movie right here. Like, this looks legit. Like, I could see myself watching this in a theater. So hopefully one of these days I'll get to see. I mean, you've been your career, like, going through the IMDb. You've spanned many different hats. You've worn many different hats in the field, and you've been involved with some pretty great movies. And it's good that obviously you've learned from your time in the field, and you're putting out some awesome stuff on your own. So that's great.
Oh, thank you. So some of the people I really feel grateful that I got to work with. I got to work with Guillermo del Toro on Mimic. Oof. And I don't think that's on my IMDb, but that was like a real treat. And just getting to watch him work was amazing. And spent some good time with Dick Donner. And it's like these guys they really know how to tell a story. And at the end of the day, you can make some cool angles and some you can make stuff look cool and actiony, but telling a story is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it just, again, I don't want to feel like I'm just like gushing over it, but it's thoroughly enjoyed.
You know what we can do, and
actually, it was meant for a video on demand release, and Sony. The movie was for Sony Worldwide Entertainment, which is their home entertainment arm, and they were so happy with it. They put it on like 50 screens. They gave it a theatrical release.
Oh, nice! So I didn't realize that. Like, when was that? Like, when did it come out in theaters?
Like 2 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. I my fingers, either that or I live in the middle of nowhere where they're not going to get it. Yeah.
You know what? Nobody spent any money on the marketing of it. It was just like, hey, let's put this out in some 4 cities. Or actually, no, it got a bunch of cities, but I think it was 50 screens in total, and that did really well on premium video on demand. And I'm sure you've seen a lot these days of movies being released simultaneously, the day and date release of video on demand as well as theatrical. It was one of those kind of releases. So if you're on your iTunes and it says still in theaters, you can.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, still in theaters, and I can watch it right now. This is awesome. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, and now we're seeing through COVID that that's.
But I'm counting the days until I get the notice from my theater that they're back open, because I'm a fan. Like, I love going to the theater. So
Connecticut, they open tomorrow.
Me too.
You open tomorrow in Connecticut? Really?
Yeah, that's what the news was going over today.
Oof. I pay for a subscription service to the movie theater, so it's like I'm there. Like, I'll wear a mask. I don't care.
What do you have to sit 3 seats away from each other? Or something like that?
But yeah, I don't know. We should talk about his movie.
Yeah. Well, you know what we should do is.
I'm not hearing Leo for some reason.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Maybe have him. I'm gonna introduce the trailer.
Okay.
So maybe have him hop back in.
Okay. So he's gonna just real quick, as soon as you start playing the trailer, he's not gonna hear it. So yeah, he's gonna play the trailer and just jump out and jump back in once it starts.
Okay. Cool.
Yep. So tonight we're talking with Jonathan Wright about Awakening the Zodiac, and the awesome thing is it's available for on demand right now. So if you check the show notes down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, I put a bunch of links, including Amazon, Vudu, iTunes, a bunch of places. But also, if you love physical media like we all do, the DVD link is there as well. So here's the trailer for Awakening the Zodiac.
I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, Yankee Doodle do or die, or die, or die. This is the Zodiac speaking.
What the hell is this? Hey, honey, I'm home. Harvey want us to bid on that storage locker.
God, another one. What do we own now?
I was going through those boxes and I found something.
What the hell is this?
It's a Zodiac. The search for the Zodiac killer has been like the search for the Holy Grail. Look where it says reward for evidence.
$100,000.
Booyah! All we have to do is find out who they belong to.
Yeah, this could be the one we're waiting for, baby.
Then let's do it.
This could be the cipher key.
Can I give you some advice? Forget what you're saying. Get on with your life. I promise you, nothing good's gonna come from this.
Hey, Vic, come on, let's go.
I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy,
Zodiac was making his way across the country.
born in the image of my Uncle Sam.
Maybe the Zodiac is still here.
Yankee Doodle Doo die, or die,
I don't want to do this anymore.
or die, or die. This is the Zodiac speaking.
Hey, Lisa here with some horrifying movie facts for you. Though it's never stated in the film, the demon...
Okay, don't know what that was.
I must say that that's the first time I think I watched a trailer after watching a movie. Usually I watch a trailer first, and the trailer looks awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I know about the movie already, so the movie and the trailer both equal out to the same.
And
So
it make you want to watch the movie again.
yes, I think I'll watch it again.
Same here. Like no, it was I was like, I want to rewatch that because I was going through the cast and I was like showing my phone to my wife. I'm like, do you know this person? She's like, yes. I'm like, you know this person? Yes. Like he knows. The cast was really good too. Like
The cast was awesome.
Yeah, it's not. It's like there's no one in the cast that. I mean, there's people in the cast that you may recognize, but they're not like any like big names. But still, they're people that are like solid, and they've made some really great stuff. And so how did that all come to be? Are these people that you've worked with in the past, or
No. It was the casting process is always exhaustive. It takes a long time. We had Leslie Bibb signed on first, and funny thing about Leslie's an amazing actress, and she's been most notably she's in Talladega Nights as Will Ferrell's wife, and she's amazing in that. But she's been done a whole bunch of stuff. She's in the Marvel movies. In the first Iron Man, she plays the reporter, and she's in a bunch of all the other Marvel movies too, as that character recurs. And she signed on. Her stepfather was actually an FBI agent, so that kind of interested her in the whole serial killer notion. And then Shane West came on board. These were just we just made sent them the script and as the producers do, and the casting director, and from then on we had once we had those two, and we got Matt Craven, who is one of the best actors in the business. He's just incredible. He plays Harvey, and what he brought, he called me. He's like, hey man. He goes, how would you feel if I let my beard grow? And I'm like, dude, just do it all. Keep on growing your hair. And then he's like, what if I shaved right here? Is that stupid? I'm like, yes. Just do it. So, he's always playing clean cut, the FBI guys, Secret Service guys using one of the NCIS shows. And, but he's also in one of my all-time favorite movies, Jacob's Ladder, which I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm getting the Jacob's Ladder guy. So he told me some of the inside stuff about Jacob's Ladder and how the ending used to be completely different. And,
Wow.
And then as far as all the red herrings go, it was like, we have to have the best actors who are out there. And there's a lot of we got all four guys, or three guys. They're the best that this country, being Canada, has to offer, and they're just all incredible. And they all really brought their A games to this movie, and it was just a lot of fun. We had a great time with it, and that's the thing, having worked on a bunch of movies, sometimes comedies are not the most fun to work on.
Really?
And usually, in my experience, every horror movie I've worked on has been the most fun.
Really? So
yeah.
I don't know if you want to expand on that. Like, how is comedy movies not so fun sometimes? Is it just ego, or like what is it?
No, comedy is stressful because you might think it's funny, or other people might think it's funny, and then no one else does. And in an action movie, a fight sequence can be kind of lame, but it serves a purpose. But in a comedy, if the jokes are not funny, it's just terrible. Like there's nothing redeeming. And there's always a great thing that there's a misconnect in comedy of screenwriters can't write jokes, and joke writers can't write screenplays. So that's why whenever you get a guy like Judd Apatow or Seth Rogen who excel at comedies, they dominate because so few people can do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's and they make quality stuff, and it just keeps happening. But it's again, like that's something that I would just like. I'd like to sit and just drink coffee and just talk to you about like your insight on movies at some point. That'd be cool. Just
for sure,
that'd be awesome.
Do it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with horror too, it's a little bit different because certain horror movies, we were talking about genres before, where thriller might be a subgenre of horror and stuff, but usually horror is in a bubble. With comedy, sometimes you have like dry humor that people like. Me myself, I enjoy Mel Brooks' stuff, and some of this new comedy myself with this like dirty jokes and all that stuff. It hits sometimes, but usually it's just recycled jokes. But with like Mel Brooks stuff, some of his was like, was that a joke? And you would have to think about it, and then it became funny. So, so with that stuff, I mean, everybody, with comedies, I guess it depends on what type of humor you have, and what some people might find hilarious. Other people might be like, that was supposed to be a joke or something. So I can see where that comes from.
Oh yeah, and with horror, you can watch a bad horror movie and still enjoy it.
Oh, totally. Some of my favorite movies are horrible. Like I know they're garbage. Like I know it, but I still love them. Like that's why I love them so much. I'm like, wow, this is really not good, but it's great at the same time. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was like 80s.
When my wife and I are watching movies, if she's going to go to bed and I'm going to watch a movie on my own, almost always it'll be a horror movie, something that, and not even a good one, like just one that's probably not very good that she would never watch. So those are my
most of the movies I watch, my wife would never watch. So, but that's whatever, it happens every once in a while. I'm like, hey, we need to check this out, and then we'll watch something together. But it's not very often. And it's times this looks like something we would both like, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad you didn't waste your time. You would have never watched a movie with me again. But whatever, I still watch them. Someone's gotta, and it's gonna be me.
Exactly.
But you before I wanted to bring up, you were talking about how thriller might not be in the horror genre, I guess you want to call it, but you find it more suspenseful, especially with like movies like The Zodiac. I mean, it's based on a true story, so that in my mind, it's like I find it a little bit more scary because it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the horror movies, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was based off of Ed Gein and stuff, but this one, they're still searching for the guy. So
right, yeah.
Well, that was a scary part of it. Years ago, and I'll actually let me talk about Zodiac first. No, I'll go back to the other one. someone years ago, someone asked me if I wanted to make a BTK movie before they caught BTK, and they're like, and here was the pitch. It was like, okay, we're gonna go. I'm sorry, I don't remember where the city BTK is from, but we're gonna go to the city. We're gonna take out. We're gonna bring in a documentary crew who are actors who are pretending to be documentary crew. We're going to. This is the producer who was pitching me on this one, and we're gonna post an ad trying to interview the BTK killer, and then we're gonna start pulling the crew one by one into safety, and almost like this was actually before the Blair Witch Project, but like actually this guy wanted to freak out the actors who were playing the documentary crew, and I was like, okay, well this is all like really great, but they never caught BTK, and that scares the shit out of me. So let's not do that.
Yeah, let's go where he lives, and then just start messing with his name and his yeah.
Oh my God! Like they're serial killers, right? Like you know, why wouldn't they just come out and kill you if you're messing with them? And,
Right.
So funny when after Zodiac got released, I actually got a university professor contacted me and wanted a little article, and he was part of this group which included Robert Graysmith, who did the famous drawing. It was played by Jake Gyllenhaal in the Fincher movie. These guys, they live for the Zodiac killer. Not really, but like it's a big part of their lives.
Yeah, it's what they think about all the time. It's like those that documentary Don't F with Cats or whatever that was on Netflix, where like there's this group of people that were just about finding that was all their spare time. So he was part of the group that was obsessed with the Zodiac killer.
Yeah. And there was like, so this one guy called me and he was telling me, he said, who do you think did it? And I always thought it was the heavyset guy who everyone thought it was, who died. Sorry, I can't remember who he was, but I always thought it was him, and never had much of an issue. But of course, like everybody else, no one's sure. And after the movie was released, I got a call on my cell phone from somewhere like Minnesota, and it was a bad line. It was like, "Is this Jonathan, the director?" And it was like an old, creepy voice, and I'm like, "Yeah, who's this?" And I couldn't make out what the guy was saying, and it freaked me out so much. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, actually, this might be the Zodiac killer calling. It really freaked me out. And then I called the guy. I called back the number, and it turned out he wasn't even saying Jonathan, the director. Whatever he said, I made up in my mind that he was saying Jonathan, the director.
Oh, geez.
So he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And hung up on me. So, but it actually gave me a little bit of time of like being worried about maybe, this guy's might be around. And then I picked up this book because I don't know if you're going to ask me who I think the Zodiac killer is, but almost everybody does. So I picked up this book and it had a chapter on the Zodiac killer, and it was written by a Los Angeles police detective who was convinced his father was the Black Dahlia killer. Steve Hodel is the writer, and who's his father? Anyway, so I picked up the book, and I read there's a Zodiac chapter. This is after I finished the movie. Actually, Sony wanted a sequel from me, so I was trying to figure out what I should do. So that didn't happen. There was a changing of the guard, some staff changeover, and whenever staff changes over, usually movies just get crushed out with the garbage. So that will never happen. Anyway, but in the meantime, I was trying to figure out what I should do, and I found this book, and this guy who proved that his father was the Black Dahlia killer. Went back earlier that his father was in Chicago at the time. There was a child killer who would write letters, stick them on the lampposts to the police, and taunting the police. And then his father moved from Chicago to Los Angeles. And his father moved to San Francisco during those times of the Zodiac killer. Then his father moved to the Philippines right around the time of the Jigsaw murders. And one of the bodies was found on Zodiac Avenue in the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God, this guy is the Zodiac killer. After it was all done, I'm like, he's dead now. So I'm like, phew. And I was like, I called up my producer and said, we got to option this book. This is crazy. This guy has proved that his father was the Black Dahlia killer. And he thinks his father was everywhere he went. He also was had an incestual relationship with his daughter. He was a doctor, a genius, businessman. Everywhere he went, like he wreaked havoc on everybody's lives. And I'll have to look up the name of the book. And just as we were starting to look into it, Amazon bought the rights.
Oh, really?
Making it into a series.
As he was talking about that on YouTube, Zodiac Killer Identified.
Anyway, so
commented.
But yeah, it was really interesting talking to these guys, and one of the women who is part of this group who goes on these yearly Zodiac tours of where all the kills happen. She was convinced. She was at the theater when that first Zodiac movie was playing. While the Zodiac killer was still out there. I don't remember what the movie was, but in the late 60s, early 70s, everyone was convinced that the Zodiac killer actually went to the movie theater.
Oh, really?
But she was convinced that she had heard someone say, one of the victims who survived, that referred to him as they. So there's a bunch of people out there who think it was numerous people.
Oof. Well, actually, so that YouTuber Awakening.
I'm sorry, I'm still not hearing Leo.
Oh,
are you guys hearing Leo?
Yeah, we can hear him. I can translate, I guess, or relay the message.
So Awakening Donald Gene Harden, and so Donald Gene was one of the people that deciphered the code, but it's there's clues saying that him and his wife were the Zodiac.
It was. I don't know if you saw the message that was up. It was Awakening Donald Gene Harden. And Awakening Donald Gene Harden. He was saying that there was a theory that it was him and his wife that were the Zodiac, like together.
Oh, really?
I guess.
I haven't heard that.
I'm just relaying what Leo said. That's weird.
Well, on the bottom, it says Zodiac Killer Identified, and it says Awakening Donald Gene Harden.
Yeah.
So, that was their comment. So they're on YouTube.
Oh! I think. Is that the guy whose son wrote the book?
I don't know.
That I'm not. It just popped up on the bottom. So
yeah.
Okay.
So before you made this movie, did you have any kind of obsession with the Zodiac killer, or was it like a new thing? You know, you just like, hey, let's just make it this, and then you started doing your research, or was this something you were interested in before?
Gosh. I've always been a huge fan of serial killer movies, but I think I was like everybody else with the Zodiac killer. And then once I got, the producer read me the log line of, let's make a movie about finding Zodiac killers, filmed kills. I'm like, okay, let's do it. And I just dug right in there and went so deep into the research. Like I went to Quantico, and I went so deep. I feel like I could do a lecture at a university on serial killers at this point.
Let's. I would listen to that. That's the one thing we're talking about. How Netflix is kind of like a dumping ground for a lot of movies. But the one thing I can say they have a lot of is documentaries about serial killers, and I watch a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and then what was it? Was it Manhunter? Was that the show?
Oh,
That was terrific.
yes.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was terrific. I was I wasn't expecting to like that one as much as I did.
Same
It
here.
took me by surprise.
Same here. I was just like, whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is really good. And it's one of those things where I'm just like, all right, now I stayed up for 2 days straight, and now I have nothing to watch because.
Hang on. Are you saying which one? Are you talking about Manhunter or Mindhunter?
Mindhunter. Sorry, man.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. Yep. Yes. Yeah. That is my favorite show, Mindhunter. Manhunt was the one I was surprised that I liked so much.
Now I have to see that. I don't know what that one is.
That one is it's the Unabomber.
Okay.
And it's got Sam Worthington is the lead guy.
I might have.
And the Unabomber is played by Paul.
IMDb on the internet. I don't know, but and then there's just a bunch of like really good documentaries that take up way too much of my time when I have other things I'm supposed to be getting done.
Well, before Netflix, they had all these
Paul Bettany.
I used to get Walmart used to have these like $5 DVDs of just like 4-hour documentaries that they give maybe 25 minutes to each serial killer or whatever. And I got hooked on those. And then, like you said, Netflix, everywhere you turn, there's a new one popping up. You know, I don't know. It's just those interesting.
Something that terrifies us. So it's, it's terrifying. And it's also kind of like, I want to know what happened. So that way, if it happens to me, I can figure out a way to get out of it or something. I don't know.
It is, it's the most realistic thing. It's like, of all my research I've done on writing, ghost stories are the scariest, in my opinion. There's nothing scarier than, a chair being turned upside down when you walk into a room for some reason. But, vampires are not that scary and serial killers are not that scary. But serial killers are truly the only real thing in horror movies that actually have any real reality, basis in reality.
It's like I'm a huge fan of horror, and I love all my big movie monsters, but I defend movies like Strangers, because it's like that's really terrifying right there. It's like like a home invasion movie. Just I don't know, but with just going off the rails there. Have you besides the one that Tony got from Horror Pack? How much have you dabbled in horror as a filmmaker in the past?
In production, I've done a bunch, but as a writer director, I'm currently, I don't know when it's going to happen, but did a reimagining of David Cronenberg's Shivers.
Oh, nice.
So who knows when that's going to happen? I think Lionsgate may be doing that. I'm just the writer on that one. Someone else is directing that. I wrote another serial killer movie, not based on the Highway of Tears killers. Do you know that story?
I don't think I do.
There's a stretch of highway in British Columbia where there's been 4 serial killers who've operated. 2 of them are dead and 1's in jail. And it's just a really long stretch of highway that mostly Indigenous women have been taken, because there's bus routes that, these women have to hitchhike, and it's all these truckers who've, a couple of them truckers, one was like a young kid who was just killing women. And because it's such a sensitive topic, I developed this one with a different studio, and we were really careful to just say, what if it's that killer from up there who's drove across the border in the United States who's operating down here as well? So we didn't make it about those kills because it's a very sensitive subject of race relations and all that kind of stuff that you don't want to touch that in the world of entertainment. But we kind of just touched on it. What if it is that person who's operating in this area? So that's another serial killer movie. Who knows when that's going to shoot, but that's in development right now. And then as far as, in my production world, I did, I think the biggest horror movie I did was Urban Legend.
Oh, nice.
The one with Jared Leto and Alicia Witt. That was like 25 years ago, I think.
Nice. Alicia Witt, a little side note, she's been coming up a lot lately. She's from where I live. She's from Worcester, Massachusetts. And
we're still friends.
Oh, really? Her dad was my science teacher in middle school.
No way.
Yeah. He was awesome. Like it was like 7th grade. I was born in 75. So, I think we're around the same age, me and Alicia, but he would tell us stories about being on the set of Dune. And I'm like, this is the best ever. This is great. But yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like, there isn't too much great in Worcester, Mass. But she's one of the things I'm like, the redhead, the red, the girl with the bright blue eyes in Dune. She's from my town. Her and was it the Big Ragu from Laverne and Shirley, I believe.
Oh no way, the Big Ragu, amazing.
yeah, like those are our claim to fame. But
I've done a couple movies with Alicia.
Nice.
And we still talk all the time. She's great.
That's awesome. Well, tell her that I said hi, and she has no idea who I am. But tell her that you talked to a ginger bearded weirdo that her father taught in middle school science class at Burncoat.
Amazing. Yeah, I've met her dad a few times. He's such a lovely guy.
Oh yeah, he was super nice guy. He was probably like my favorite teacher like that whole year. And then I think he kind of did an early retirement thing, and I think that he worked with her. Like I think because she was still like school age, I want to say. So
yeah, maybe she was homeschooled. So yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, because wasn't she like the Guinness Book of World Records or something? Like her sibling.
She was on That's Incredible.
Yeah.
Do you remember that show?
I do. Yeah.
But too young for that.
I totally
2
know
years too young.
I totally know it, but it's I don't know if it was her or one of her siblings, but they were like a classic pianist, like classical.
Yeah,
pianist.
It was her.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know. It's a very interesting family. So.
For sure.
I'm always have like a little bit like she's from my town, like whenever I see her.
I just want to break in here for a second because we didn't get a chance to run the ad for Deadly Grounds. So I'm going to do that real quick.
Okay.
So every single show is brought to you by Deadly Grounds Coffee. And if you haven't heard us talk about them yet, it's the most amazing coffee you'll ever have. It's the only coffee I drink. And, if you go to getdeadly.com or just Google Deadly Grounds Coffee, Death by Chocolate is my absolute favorite. There's a raspberry chocolate that's amazing as well. Pumpkin. But you know what? Here's enough about me talking about coffee. Here's a zombie talking about coffee.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for, and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
And the link is in the show.
There we go. Yeah, if you're a coffee drinker, I don't drink coffee, but these two, they talk about it all the time. So if you're into coffee.
Yeah, that was just our sponsor for the network. They're great. And actually, I think there is a Deadly Grounds candidate, but it's a different. I mean, it's a franchise kind of thing.
Yeah, but they got the bacon.
Okay.
Yeah. They have a maple bacon coffee, which I want to try it, but I don't know.
There's a question from Angela.
Any more myth legend movies? Or is that asking about urban legend movies?
I guess either that or any other, maybe serial killer or, urban legends. I remember watching that when I was younger, and then Scream Factory just re-released it on like their style. So I think that got a resurgence because I remember watching that, and then they had Urban Legends 2 and then Bloody Mary, and then the third Urban Legends, which was a little bit too deep into it. But I remember liking the first two a lot.
Right. Oh yeah. The second one was directed by John Ottman, who's a composer and composes all the big movies. Still a composer.
Nice. But that's cool that he's directing as well. So one thing, and I know it's not hard, but I just want to bring it up because it's, but looking at your IMDb, you've also directed a lot for like Hallmark and Lifetime. And is that how you know Alicia as well? Alicia Witt?
Yeah, well, we met on Urban Legend. We were friends back in Urban Legend because we were all around the same age, and all the actors, we all hung out. And my second paid directing job, she was the star of.
Nice.
And it was kind of one of the top movies for the network, and still is, 12 years later or 13 years later, and so we keep on talking about working together again, and yeah, we check in. She's a musician as well, and she's always on the road, so she comes up here every now and then. I'll go see her show.
Nice.
Yeah, we're hopefully going to work together soon. And she's such a great person and actor. Oh, I see. Someone just asked about the Soska Sisters doing Shivers. The Soska Sisters just did Rabid.
Yeah.
Shivers is a different movie.
Yeah, Rabid I actually have up in the corner over there. I actually like their reboot. I enjoyed it. I have to rewatch the original because I remember watching the original first and I didn't really dig it that much. But now I have to revisit it because I like that. So if it's anywhere close to the original, then I have to rewatch the original.
Right.
So you have more insight than we would, obviously, but with everything that's going on with the whole pandemic and coronavirus and stuff like that, how much has that affected you in general, just as far as like filmmaking? I know some directors aren't able to do anything; some of them are finding ways around it. But do you know, like how is it really working in this whole situation?
So for me, it's absolutely zero is happening. I've got a bunch of jobs as soon as the green light gets going, as far as safety goes. So which I think is pretty soon. What I keep on hearing is that, August, September, people are going to start shooting again. So I've got a bunch of movies happening, including some mysteries for Hallmark, and then an independent film, maybe a monster movie.
Oh, nice.
Sometime next year. So, but I'm also a writer, but I haven't done any writing. Like this pandemic is like kind of forced me into some kind of grief paralysis. I am developing.
It'll just like bust loose, and you'll be like, "Here's all this creative stuff. It's all right here." Yeah. That'd be nice.
It's one of those. It's okay to not be creative right now because there's bigger things going on. It's such a horrible, horrible world right now that I have been developing a vampire show that I'm kind of slowly picking away at.
Yeah.
So once I can get my shit together, maybe I'll start typing it away. But
so you're writing it as a series?
As a series, yeah, because that seems to be what everybody. And even me, I'm enjoying series so much these days. Like I just finished watching The Witcher, which I'm surprised I wasn't expecting to like. And
yeah,
I was like, this is pretty killer.
It's another one of those things that's on my list. Like there's just way too much out there.
It's so good.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's almost too much, but if the pandemic goes on any longer, it won't be too much.
Right, exactly. That's my worry. It's like, okay, like this keeps happening. Like when the movie theaters open again, is there going to be anything to be in? Like they're just going to be playing older movies. Like, but I, to be honest with you, I'd still go. Like because it's the experience I like.
All the movies that were being released just got put on hold. So I think there's going to be a ton.
Oh, okay.
And I don't think that's a danger. I think what will happen is network television perhaps will be a little bit behind. But as far as because they've been airing stuff nonstop, whereas the theatrical world is just they shut down when we all did. So I think once everything gets opened up, I don't think there will be any lag
Well, that's good. I've been sitting there worried about it because I also hear like franchises like AMC is talking about being, saying that they may not even recover from this and that they may have to close down for good. And that's stuck. That's we're big fans of physical media and everything's going digital. And it's like one of the other saving graces that we have is going to the theater. And now it's like, if that ends, what do I have? I could just sit here and look at my wall and.
Well, it's not going to end. It's just postponed, and it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm the kind of guy that goes to the theater on his own. I love the movie theater.
Yep.
Even an empty theater on like a Tuesday.
Best times to go.
That's the best.
You don't have to worry about someone like being noisy, whatever. Just sit right in the center. If you don't like your seat halfway through the movie, you can just move. Like no one's there.
Exactly.
I don't know. Fingers crossed again.
But they were talking like I don't know if the movie business itself is like it, but they were talking like the Marvel movies where they have this on the docket. All they did was move it over, a few months. So I don't know if they have like these movies are coming out in this quarter or whatever. We'll just move it over one quarter or whatever, and then
one of the things
go on.
For me though is it's like a lot of stuff is like supposed to be theatrical, and then now it's getting the digital releases. Like Judd Apatow just had that new the King of Staten Island.
Yep.
That was theatrical, and that just came out digital, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Oh sure. And like Artemis, I just watched Artemis Fowl with my youngest son last night.
Yeah.
And, how was
that? Was another one that was supposed to be a big release. And,
did you like it?
I enjoyed it. There's I feel like someone at the studio probably said cut 15 minutes out of it.
Oh, really?
And I think they just cut it really tightly.
That's unfortunate.
It was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. My son loved it.
Nice.
And so yeah.
I had no idea what it was beforehand. I watched it. It was interesting. I just didn't know. Yeah. I didn't read the books, or I didn't know anything about it. So going into it new.
Tony?
Yeah,
what?
Me either.
Disney Plus.
Oh, you got Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we're almost at the hour mark. So what do you have? I mean, I know you have a ton of stuff that is going to be happening as soon as the whole pandemic is done. But do you have any projects that are like ready to come out, or almost like close to being like ready to come out?
Nope.
No. Well, pandemic. I don't know.
A lot of the television stuff. I did a couple of episodes of Good Witch, which comes out in a couple of weeks.
Oh, nice.
The season finale of Good Witch. So that was fun. It was a really nice show to work on. Not a lot of witchcraft, but some amazing. So I've got that.
It's still really cool. You get to do. It's one thing that we see with a lot of like horror directors and actors and actresses too is a lot of times they get kind of pigeonholed into one. They're stuck. They want to do something more and they can't. So looking at your IMDb, you're pretty much all over the place. So that's a rarity that we see that, to be honest with you. But also you've been in the industry for, it seems like for a good amount of time, and you've put in a bunch of impressive work too, looking at IMDb. So it's like, yeah, but it's cool that you're able to do stuff like that and Hallmark and Lifetime movies, and then you're also able to turn around and make Awakening the Zodiac, which is a kick-ass thriller at the same time.
Well, that's one of the upsides of being a writer. For a lot of directors who don't write, they just kind of have to hope that they get offered those movies or get in at the ground level. But for me, I'm like, that's okay. I've got a bunch of scripts. Someone's going to make them at some point, or maybe they don't. But after this many years, I've got so many movies. I've got a Western that I'm hoping to shoot maybe next year, which is a really violent Western, and I'm really excited about that because I wrote it like 15 years ago, and with a writing partner, a guy named Wright, and finally it got changed to a post-apocalyptic Western on motorbikes one time for Lionsgate, and instead of Western, and we had Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ray Liotta attached to star in it, and then something happened and it didn't happen, and then someone called and said, "Hey, can you change it back to horses again?" So,
Yeah, you want to call Stephen Cold and tell him that he's not playing right? Tell him he's going to ride a horse.
We need another bone tomahawk.
Yeah, he's Leo just said we need another Bone Tomahawk. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, Bone Tomahawk.
Great movie. Great movie.
It's brutal, but it's good. It was a fun one. We got to see that one like well before it was coming out too, which was pretty awesome.
That's great.
Yeah. It's always fun when we get to see like production like screeners and stuff like that. But yeah. So definitely, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I'm definitely recommending Awakening the Zodiac. I definitely want to check out the other one. So Tony, I'm just saying, hook a brother up.
I think someone uploaded it to YouTube. I think you can actually watch it on YouTube.
Oh, really? That stinks though. But either way, well, is that available to buy anywhere, or is it only through Harpack?
Well, I'm sure it's on Blu-ray, so I'm guessing if you look on, I didn't personally look on like Amazon or eBay or anything like that, but it is out there. So,
okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it because the people that put it out in the market had some restructuring, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if any more got pressed, but they said it did quite well. They asked after some
Tony.
bad stuff happened. They for some reason had the balls to ask me for a sequel. I was like, what?
Like, it's a nice set you got on here. That's great. Yeah. But yeah, it's I was gonna say after Tony did his review, it just flew off the shelves. Everyone loved it. And so now if I do find it, it's probably gonna cost me like $100. So I don't know. I'll have to take a look. I'll have to watch it first, and then I'll be like, all right, it's worth it. But yeah, and I'm definitely gonna be picking up Awakening the Zodiac myself. And yeah, I totally dug it. Leo, did you end up getting a chance to check it out?
I did. So there is a link in the show notes down below or up above. Amazon had a couple copies left on DVD, so if you want to check it out. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. It's just the cinematography was awesome. The story was great. And the main actor, I forgot his name there. I kept on thinking, where the hell did I know him from? And I'm like, it racked my brain. But he was on ER for like 7 seasons.
Yeah. That's the thing is you look at that. So Leo loved it, by the way, Jonathan. I don't think he can. Yeah, he loved it, and he commented on the cinematography and just how great it was. And the main actor, he's like, how do I know this guy? And then he figured out that he was on ER for like ever.
Oh yeah. He also plays Bane on Gotham.
Yes. Yeah. We don't talk about Gotham.
We don't talk about Gotham. I like Gotham. I mean, it's not.
Your wives will remember him from A Walk to Remember.
Oh, that's exactly. I showed my wife that picture. She's like, I love him. I was like, all right. I'm sitting right here. Whatever.
One of my childhood friends is a rock star in a band called Five Finger Death Punch.
Okay.
And he plays the FBI in the end of the movie.
Really?
And yeah. And he wears we got makeup all over his tattoos and stuff. And his name's Jason Hook. And when I said, "Hey, bro, you wanna put your guitar in the pawn shop of the movie?" He's like, "Do I? Let me get Gibson to send you one." So Gibson sent me one of his M4 Shermans, and
that's awesome.
Just an Explorer. And I was like, "Hey, do you want to be in the movie?" He's like, "Do I?" So, he's like, "Who's in it?" I'm like, "Shane." He's like, "A Walk to Remember." I'm like, "You are the least guy I would expect to know A Walk to Remember."
That's funny.
Pretty funny.
Yeah. Cool. I have to go back and find that.
We have a Five Finger Death Punch song closing the credits.
Nice. See, I don't pick up on those things. I look for like, oh, that cup wasn't there before. Now it is. Like I look at that stuff. I don't notice all the obvious things. I don't know. Whatever. So Tony, is this one you're going to add to your collection?
Yes. Even though I mean, being a Blu-ray collector now, Leo said it was only on DVD, but when you see a good movie,
right now it's only available on DVD. So
maybe I'll have to look on eBay or something.
Yeah, I chose the Amazon link, so I don't know if it was an issue with the link or not, but
yeah,
All right.
just do some searching. You'll find it, Tony. If anyone can
Oh,
do
I find stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, so it's definitely. I mean, like, it's one thing to be like, yeah, it's great, I like it, but then to be like, we're going to add it to the wall. Like, it's we enjoyed it quite a bit.
Oh, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
And so if you're interested in owning this movie, check the links down below or up above, depending on where you're watching or listening to us. Physical media is available, so there's a link right there. And also, if you just want to check it out on VOD, available on many platforms, including Vudu, iTunes, a bunch of places. So you can check it out tonight if you want to, which I highly recommend.
Tonight, for sure.
Yeah, watch it tonight and then order yourself the physical media.
That's right. That's what you do. He was just telling people to go get it on digital, and then after that, go buy the physical media as well.
Yeah,
that's how we amazing. Yeah. So Leo, we're gonna do the rundown, I'm assuming.
We are. So like I mentioned, all the links are in the show notes down below or up above. I want to thank you all for watching tonight. Make sure you follow our awesome guests. But we will start with Tony. Do you want to decipher to Jonathan on where people can find him? Ask him to give his info.
Sure. So Leo, this is where we run down and tell everyone where to follow us and stuff. But we always ask the guests. So where do you like people following you or finding your movies and stuff? Is there a specific place you like people following you?
I think Instagram is the only one I really do, and it's Johnny Wright, JONNIWRIGHT.
All right.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Tony.
You can find me at Tony Has 9 Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews and unboxings and stuff. I do have a contest going on now. I got 1,500 subscribers, so if you want to win a little prize, gift card or movie thing or a Funko Pop, you can enter. Tony Has 9 Fingers on Twitter and Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the movies behind me, and of course here on the Dorkening every Tuesday night.
What Funko? What Funko?
It's the it's a set of Lock, Shock, and Barrel from Nightmare Before Christmas. Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah. No, Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like they're in a tub. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Find me Knuckle on Twitter and Instagram every Tuesday night here on Wicked Horror Show. I'm also doing reviews with the 13th Wolfman over on the audio side. I'm also part of Black and White Fright and Secret Underground Hideout, all of which are on the Dorkening Podcast Network. And Leo.
Yeah, so you know what? This should be a switch since Tony's having his own contest now. We should enter his contest and win those.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can enter.
I'd feel weird about entering.
Yeah, totally.
Anyways.
Well, you're entering the
I know.
Ben's contest. Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. So definitely follow Jonathan. His links are down below or up above, but also head on over to thedorkening.com for all the shows on the network. Tons of awesome content to watch. And for me, just Google Leo Pond. You'll find a bunch of stuff. Could be true, could be not. But thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys later.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you guys. It's a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.